Hey everybody, christopherodd here. I am sitting in my hotel room in Los Angeles after the Borderlands 3 event that 2K brought me out to. And I just wanted to take you guys through some of the gameplay that I was able to record today. This gameplay takes place pretty early into the game. We're in this place called Promethea, this cyberpunk-inspired level, which looks really, really cool.
That looked like a rough ride. You still with us, killer?
Ugh, that landing. I've been in gentler fistfights.
As long as you're alive. Looks like Ellie got you within the city limits. Go find whoever made that distress call.
So you'll notice that we are currently level 10, and we already have some skill points that we can utilize. I've decided to go with the Phase Slam as her action skill. You can choose from 3 different ones if you'd like. And this one's just really cool. You can jump in the air and you slam down into the ground. It's really fun to utilize. And then I put my extra points into Do Harm, which basically builds up these stacks. When I have these stacks from getting kills, then I can have a stronger action skill, which is pretty nice. We only had about 90 minutes to record, so I was hoping to maybe get further down the tree. But as you can imagine, in 90 minutes, you don't have a ton of opportunity to level up. You will see a couple of additional level ups happen, but nothing too crazy. So in the early section here, I really wanted to just take my time and like look at the city and take everything in. You can tell right away that like graphically it's an upgrade in a lot of different ways. Everything is super crisp, super sharp. The guns look outstanding. The UI is a lot tighter, and the city is actually so incredible. It's beautiful.
That one needed more training.
You wanna go?
One of the things that really stood out to me was how improved the gun sounds were. You take games that are like Battlefield or Call of Duty that really talk a lot and highlight the way that guns should sound. Then you talk about a game like Borderlands, which you might not equate to having like really good sounding guns. They're fun sounding guns a lot of times, but Borderlands 3 has, in my opinion, some of the best gun sounds that I've ever played. And it's this really kind of interesting contrast between the visual style of the game and the way that the guns sound. And I love it. I'm glad that they put a lot of effort into making it sound the way that they did. So at this event, we had a really cool stage show by Randy Pitchford, who does obviously quite a good job of promoting his game. And there was a couple of things that he touched on that we'll probably see in this gameplay. There's a couple of things that we won't see, though, that he touched on, and I thought that maybe I would share that with you guys. Specifically, one of the things that I'm looking forward to is the loot instancing, they call it, which basically means that when you're playing with multiple people, you now have the option to have individual loot dropping so that you don't have to fight over loot. Some people like that, some people don't. I'm kind of split between the options, to be honest, because part of the fun is like, oh, okay, well, if we're dropping sniper rifles and shotguns, we can kind of split that between buddies. But by the same token, if somebody just steals a weapon that you kind of wanted, then you feel bad having to try and get it faster. So having individual loot instances is really nice in that regard, because you can just take everything that you see. The other thing that's cool about that is that if you're playing with somebody at a higher level, so if I'm a level 10 character and I'm playing with somebody who's a level 30 character, the loot that drops for the level 30 character is going to be more appropriate for his level, and the loot that drops for the level 10 character is going to be more appropriate for his level. So it's a really cool way of balancing the game around drops. This is our action skill that you just saw there. So we're jumping up in the air, we're slamming down, does this big AoE. And depending on how many stacks we have, you can see the icons at the very bottom. It has like a damage modifier for that, based on the skills that we picked.
Sorted back there. Hey, you! Over here! Slag me! You've got some good timing! These bandits somehow got their hands on some wicked Malawan guns. Oh, right, I'm Lorelai. Did Reese send you?
Who's Reese?
My boss, CEO of Atlas. We're at war with Malawan. Not from around here, are you? Now all these maniacs show up all over the city screaming about some vault.
That's the Calypso's doing. They want the vault, and I'm here to beat them to it.
The Calypsos? Those yammering EchoNet arseholes with the cult? Well, I got no slagging clue about vaults, but Reese would know. Come on, I gotta tell him about our new bandit problem anyway. I'll introduce you.
So one of the things that they're doing that I really love, and I wish more games would implement this, is if you take a look at the mini-map, you'll notice that it's getting shaded in on areas that you've explored. And I love that idea. I wish that was just like the standard way of doing it. For my knowledge, not a lot of other games do it this same way, and it's a super clean implementation, just a really good idea to let you know what areas of the map you've checked, which you haven't. In a looter shooter like this, that's really important because you want to be able to go and look around and try to scavenge for different chests and the like. So I love that. I think it's really cool.
I'm good to go here. Place is compromised anyway. Let me know when you're ready.
Ammo! Without it, you're just a schmuck with a paperweight. You will be back!
So I'm leaving some of the menu stuff in here just so you guys can take a look at some of the different gun types and gun elements. You'll notice that I was marking them there, and I had intended on marking them as junk, but I was actually marking them as favorites. So when I go over here to sell them, I'm kind of thinking to myself, well, oh, okay, maybe I just screwed that up a little bit, which I did. But first mistake I've ever made, so you'll forgive me, I'm sure.
There's always trouble.
Also, if you're wondering, if anybody that's curious, we were playing using a controller. We did not have a choice to use mouse and keyboard. And I'll just say any aiming issues are clearly just because of having to use the controller. I'm pretty much an expert at these games, so, you know, take that for what it is. Now, at these catch-a-rides, we can now do different loadouts in a lot more detail than we could previously. There's a lot of different ways to incorporate other vehicle add-ons as well.
Back to HQ, but I've got a small team working behind enemy lines. I have to make sure they haven't been overrun with all these bandits running around.
So we're able to find other vehicles out in the world or capture other vehicles and take them back there, and then they'll get scanned for parts, which is a really cool idea. The driving is done, so you might notice at first here I'm having a little bit of trouble navigating with the vehicle. The driving is done all with the analog sticks, so instead of having buttons for acceleration, you're using the sticks, which is a little bit takes like a minute to get used to, and then it's fine, but a little bit jarring at first.
I miss coffee. Where the hell did these bandits get hover wheels? That's Malawan tech. Let's take one out, see if we can find where they're getting this stuff. Nice, I see an Echo in the wreckage. Grab it.
And I'm gonna say it slowly. Don't kill the Malawan guys.
Kill the Malawan guys! For you! For my queen! For my...
No. Okay, this energy, I love it, but we made a deal with Malawan, and now we're not going to kill them. So, what are we going to do when we see a Malawan guy?
Kill the Malawan guys! For Tyrene! For the twin gods!
Yeah, okay, gotta start this one over.
No!
Slag me! The bandits are working with Malawan! Bloody fantastic! This is our stop. On foot from here. My people are inside. Let me do the talking. Oi, Skyman! Open up!
Password?
Passwords, open the bloody door before I shove a coffee grinder up your ass.
It's definitely her, guys. Welcome back, sir.
Report. How's it looking?
A lot more patrols than usual, sir. Something's off. We moved the civs into the tunnels for safety.
Bollocks. Stay sharp, Skyman. Come on, Vault Hunter, this way. There's an Atlas base nearby with a direct line back to Reese and HQ. Malawan captured it a few months ago. I haven't had the manpower to take it back, but now that you're here, maybe we can finally send those bastards packing.
So I'm being pretty diligent in looting whatever we see at this point, but because of the limited nature of the event in terms of time, there are going to be things that I'm just running by that I should be looting. But just so you guys know, the only reason I'm doing that is because I wanted to get as far as we possibly could in our limited time with the game.
Let me know when you're ready to take back that Atlas base.
Payback's all I got. Right, so, as you can see, life sucks right now. There's these two Malawan guys, Rax and Max, who are crapping it up in particular. It's like they're trying to out-war crime each other. One of them murdered my family. I don't know who. Find out who did it and kill him.
Hey, did that stupid Sim tell you I killed their family? Well, I totally did. I'm the worst there's ever been. Guess you gotta kill me. Hey, Max, look who's got a Vault Hunter after him. What? No way. I killed that family. Vault Hunter, come after me, not Rax. That idiot couldn't kill a litter of bunnies if he had a custom-built fat bunny mulcher. Which he doesn't, because I have that.
What was that?
These guys both suck ass, which means we can't trust either of them. You gotta figure out who killed who if I'm gonna get.
So here you're gonna see one of the cool guns that we find, where you have this tracker puck, and then the bullets that you shoot just go straight onto that tracker that you launched earlier. And you'll notice, and I haven't talked about this yet, but we have these firing modes. So if you look into the bottom right, you activate this with the down arrow on a controller, and that switches between your firing modes. A lot of guns have different firing modes now. This one is switched between the tracker puck and the smart bullets. This gun here switches between radiation and I believe energy, and then, or sorry, I should say shock to say it correctly. The tracker puck at first I was having a hard time actually like hitting the enemy with it because that doesn't home in on them, which was my original understanding was incorrect. So there you'll see that he got tracked with it, and it actually tracks to the body part as well. So if you hit him in the head with the puck and then you launch your bullets wherever, they will home in on that tracking puck and damage that specific body part. So it's really cool.
If they think we're easy targets now that they've got banned.
But some guns have different, straight up just different firing modes. So like full auto versus semi-auto. You'll have guns that can switch between, it's a shotgun that does fire damage versus shock damage. Or you can have a gun that switches almost into entirely different weapons. Like I find later on a sniper rifle that switches into launching a missile, which is super cool. There's this like seemingly endless amounts of variety that they can add with these different firing modes, and it makes it feel like there's even more guns than what they've advertised, because that every one of them has basically two uses that can be completely different. So you'll see in the top right this Mali Wannabes. That's for a side mission that I will go back to later, but I'm not following that specifically right now. We're just going to stick to the main mission for a bit.
Come on, we're heading to Watershed Base. It's through here.
Malawan's bloody well entrenched, so get ready for a fight.
So this gun's really cool. It doesn't have ammo, but it overheats. And if it overheats, you can't use it for a bit. It's really good against armor. And I'm mostly just experimenting with any type of interesting weapon that we find. So you might be asking yourself sometimes why I'm not optimizing my weapon choice for the type of enemy. And it's just because I just want to try all the different guns. Again, limited time with this demo, and wanted to try out as much variety as I possibly could.
was selling that, they'd have my license. Again.
Yeah, I could use the practice.
So now you're going to see where we start to use some of the radiation. It's a new damage type. The way that it works is that it kind of, I'm going to say infects for lack of a better term, but let's say somebody acquires radiation, like that middle guy, and if he can explode due to the radiation, that can impact the people around him. They will be infected with radiation, and then they can explode, and so on and so forth. It's a really powerful damage type, in my opinion, and I'm looking forward to seeing what different type of weapons they'll come up with that have radiation. I haven't seen any enemies that are completely immune to it. You will notice that enemies are immune to different damage types, and they'll tell you very clearly, hey, it's immune. And you'll have to switch your weapon types, but yeah, it's one that I'm really looking forward to experimenting with. Now you'll notice NPCs will come and revive you if you're fighting with NPCs, and you can also revive them as well. So Randy talked about that on stage, and people went super berserk about it. They were really stoked. So that's in there now, and if you're a longtime Borderlands fan, you probably understand why that's a big deal. So this next part of the fight gets pretty intense. I'm going to let it just play out here. If there's anything that I feel the need to add on to, then I will. But I'll probably just let it play through here, and I'll come back near the end of the video.
Promethea was finally crawling out of the gutter, really becoming a decent planet again. And Malawan thought better of it. It's not easy, you know, going from barista to guerrilla fighter overnight. Don't mind if I do! Pyrotechs! Look out!
This is great! I'm beating! I just took it!
Only over soon. For your consideration.
Alright guys, so that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for today. I do still have more footage that I'm willing and able to share with you guys. I just won't have it available for the next day or so. As I said, I'm recording this in my hotel room on my laptop mic after the event. And, you know, I went into the event thinking, you know, it's probably just gonna be more... It's gonna be like Borderlands stuff. It's great, but what are they gonna do that's different? And as soon as I started playing, I was like, there's this like just overwhelming level of polish, and they've taken everything that's worked so well from their previous games and implemented it into Borderlands 3, but have also added these other cool ideas. They've just gone crazy with like different gun types, and now they have all these alternate firing modes. The enemies seem fun. I won't show you the boss fight in this video, but there is a boss fight I will show you, and it was really fun as well, and it's early on into the game, so there's only more cool stuff that's going to happen. But if you guys are interested and you have questions about anything you've seen that maybe I didn't touch on, feel free to ask, and I will try my best to answer them if I have the answer. I'll also be putting out probably another video or two just from the footage that I was able to capture at the event. And if you're new here, just so you know, I'm normally doing Let's Play style videos. I will be doing a playthrough of this game when it releases, likely co-op with a couple of buddies of mine. And so if you're interested in that, then stick around. But I also have like 4,000 other videos of other games that you might be interested in as well. So stick around, and I would appreciate that. Anyways, guys, if you wouldn't mind dropping a like on this video, that helps me a lot. And other than that, I just want to say thanks so much for watching. Have a good one, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Bye for now.
All right, let's get that channel open to Atlas HQ. Re-establishing connection, come on. Whew, all right, connection to Atlas headquarters is still intact. When you're ready, Vault Hunter.